Hey everybody, I started a Patreon. Go check it out if you want. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. How you doing? I just want to say I appreciate you guys being here. Today we're going to talk about something fun and a little different. We are going to talk about why you need to stop scrolling and start reading. I'm going to give you 5 reasons why you should stop doom scrolling and start reading a freaking book. Now, every single one of these, I'm going to just talk about the reasons why these are bad. I will talk about obviously reading throughout the video, but these are 5 things I'm like, man, we need to change as a society. These 5 reasons are pretty good. The first one's a hot take. Well, controversial, I guess, whatever. That's what I wanted to do. I wanted to push the limits. So number 1 on here is probably the most touchy subject in America currently. TikTok. No, I'm just kidding. Politics, actually. So one of the reasons why I think people need to stop constantly doom scrolling, why you need to get off the internet and honestly go freaking touch some grass, is politics. Politics compared to how it is now versus even 10 years ago. I remember when I was a teenager, I never once thought of politics. I never once talked about it with any of my friends or anything, but I'm around kids that are like 18 years old and they are so engrossed into politics. We are to the degree now where if you do not agree with anybody, if whatever their opinion is, if you do not agree with every single thing they agree on, you are cooked. And I'm talking about both sides. That's the other problem. I really hate how it's left versus right. And if you say, well, I'm neither, I'm actually kind of in the middle because I think both sides are kind of bad, people freaking put you on a stake. It's insane. It's honestly just such insanity that I see nowadays that bothers me so much that we are at this degree. At the end of the day, I'm an American, nothing else. I don't really care. And I think the problem is with everything nowadays too, with the political climate, is we can't actually just justify and have conversations with one another. We cannot. Every time I've said that before, I have been attacked for that opinion. Everyone always posts, they'll always say something to be like, oh, well, what about this? Or what about this? Don't you care about this? And it's like, you need a breather. You need to go touch some grass. And that's the thing about all these. I think everyone just needs to touch grass at the end of the day. I truly believe the political climate nowadays is so bad. It is. It's horrendous. It's in everything. It's in our books. It's in our television. It's in everything. And yeah, you can argue that even movies and shows and our books always had little political touches, which is true. They do. But there's a huge difference between how it was versus how it is now. It's more of kind of like the 1984 style where it's you will think of what I will say. This is what you will think, nothing else. And that's what this has turned into, and it's so bad. It's so draining. I'm so tired of it. I'm not even a political guy, and I just hate it. I hate it so much. And politics has really divided people among themselves. I bet even me talking about this, people are gonna get mad at me for it. So it's you can't win at all with any side you pick or what your opinion is, because somebody's gonna be mad at you. And that's what I've learned, and that's why I have stopped really trying to be on the internet as much as I can. The political climate is so toxic. I could probably do a whole video just talking about politics and our media, but this is a book channel, not about politics. Number 2 on this list, time wasting. That's pretty clear. Some people spend hours and hours on their phone. I remember I worked with this girl. So we work Monday through Thursdays, and she said, well, I remember one Friday I woke up at 9 o'clock in the morning and I scrolled on my phone for 7 hours.
Jesus Christ.
Doom scrolled for 7 hours. She said it was so bad that she had to charge her phone after because her phone was almost dead. And when I heard that, it made me sick to my stomach thinking about that. That is crazy. So you waste so much time on that phone of just the endless things. And the thing is, I remember when I was younger, I'm gonna sound like a real old man, but I remember when I was younger and Facebook and Instagram, all that would have a limit. I swear, you could scroll on Facebook and it would get hit to a limit, and then that's it. It would show what happened at the end of that day, but now it will just keep going and going and going and going. It wants you to feed into that algorithm and to never get out. And it leads to a lot of these other ones I'm going to talk about as well in this, but it also just leads down these rabbit holes, and it warps your mind so much that it's just brain rot. That's all this is. And then with books, it's not brain rot at all. Most reading is not brain rot. Now there is books that are just really bad. There is bad books, but that's that's just a fact. In reality, there's bad books, there's bad movies, there's bad takes and everything. People might think what I'm saying right now is a bad take, and people might look at my video and watch and they're like, wow, this is a waste of time for me too, which is fine, which is fair. That's all your opinions. In general though, I feel like we are at a time where I feel like we should value our time, and we don't actually value it. When I have talked to many people and they're like, they'll see me at work, I'm just reading one of my books, they're like, wow, Zach, I wish I could read. And oh man, I get so mad when I hear that. I bet a lot of avid readers actually get really mad about hearing that, because they're always like, I wish I had time to read. I don't ever have time to read. I have all this life stuff happen, which is true. Life happens. There's sometimes where I can't get any reading in a day or two. I still prioritize myself reading every day. The difference is your screen time is those times where you could be reading your book. There's plenty of people that have like 4 or 5 hours of screen time a day, and those 4 or 5 hours could have been cut in half to reading, or just reading for 4 or 5 hours in a day. You'd be surprised how fast you can finish a book if you read it that long. Or when you're like watching TV and stuff. Television, completely different. This is about social media. In general though, every time I hear that, it just, inside, I just want to scream. Because I'm like, no, you do have time. You have 24 hours in a day, 7 to 8 hours of sleep, 8 to 10 hours a day of work. The rest of it's all your free time. And you can choose that. On your breaks for lunch or dinner, read your book, eat and read. That's what I do. Don't doom scroll, don't do any of that. It's pretty simple, you know, like I don't like the excuse that's like, I don't ever have enough time. You always have enough time. I will say this. I mean, if you have kids, I don't have kids, so I can't really say that part. So I'm not going to defend it if you have children. In general though, if you are spending time on your phone, you have time to read. That's the bottom line. Number 3 on this one is, I have it labeled as depression, but I'm gonna just put it down as mental health. Now, mental health in social media is so bad. It's crazy. I remember when I was younger, and I mean, I guess, I'm comparing myself, teenage Zach, to 30-year-old Zach, 18-year-olds now versus like how I was at 18. But social media, even when I was 18, was, you know, over a decade ago. I'm really showing my age now, but even over a decade ago, social media, the landscape of it was so different that it never felt depressing, because like I said, there was always ways it would stop. Like I never felt like I was doom scrolling ever on social media back then, and a lot of the stories and everything you would read about back then never really made you depressed. Nowadays everything's about fear mongering and how mental health crisis is at an all-time high and this, and it's all supposed to be ingrained in our minds. That's the whole point of it. It wants to keep us like that. I do sound like a conspiracy theorist or whatever, but it's like, when you really think about these kind of things, and if you truly do go on Facebook, go on Instagram, go on TikTok, even on YouTube, the algorithm is going to feed you to what you watch the most. So if I watch things about mental health, you're probably going to go down that rabbit hole of watching those things constantly. It's going to mess with your head. Pushing that aside, then you have the other side of these people that pretend to be rich. Like I'm going to do pretend, and it's these flexers. Like that's what I call them. They're just flexers. And that happens all the time, even on booktube and booktok. Like you have people that are like, look at my library. Are you guys jealous? Look, I bought 100 books this month. I read 100 books this month. And it messes with your head so dang much that you're like, I can't do any of that. I can't afford buying books like that. I can't read 100 books in a month. And the reality is, most of these people who are reading these books don't actually read them. They're lying to you. And it's just a facade. It's all just a facade. They're all just lying, and it's what messes with your head. It truly does give you like this idea, this impression that it's like, wow, my life is not nearly as good as theirs. And it always happens. I was like that when I was a lot younger. I would see 18-year-olds, same age as me, 18, 19-year-olds, same age as I was back in the day, and they were like posing, doing all these incredible things. And then I find out years later that they were just faking it, and they were just getting in thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in debt just to flex on Instagram or on YouTube or on Facebook, just whatever it is. And it's just the truth though. Like it makes you so depressed. It makes you feel like it's kind of worthless life is at times because of how social media just puts out this negative energy. It's really hard to find a positive thing. And the worst part is when they come to positive things on social media, a lot of times it's just fake, because they're just trying to get it for views. That's a sad reality too. So it's always bothered me so much when I would see these kind of things. Again, this goes back to the time wasting and comes back to the politic things. These are all just not good things for you. All of them can be good in small doses. All of it is. But when you are so pushed into it constantly, it's gonna mess you up forever. That's why I'm like telling people, I'm like, maybe you should stop, get off the phone. read a book, watch some movies. There's so many good things you can do. Like for me personally, I don't think a lot of like good modern movies or shows are even that good anymore. I just don't think they are. So instead of me sitting here complaining about that, I just watch good old movies that I liked growing up, or I just liked watching when I was with like my dad and stuff. But I predominantly read books. Now I have a whole video coming out about new age books versus old books. That's coming out later. I can't wait for that controversy. In general though, I think mental health is so different than it once was, where everybody has mental health problems. Everybody does, even if they actually don't, but it's literally in their head that they think it is because of what you're watching, you're consuming it. It's just a really sad thing, and it just makes me sad, and sometimes I just wish I could help people, but it's like, what can I do? Number 4 on here is one that I am a huge advocate for, and that is privacy. I don't want my stuff to get revealed. I don't want people to buy my personal information. That is literally what's going on constantly throughout social media. Every single thing you always see, it's always like invasion of privacy. And even like a couple years ago, the man who created Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, had to face the US government about invasion of privacy. I remember that was a whole thing. A lot of people were like memeing it because they're like, oh, the government was asking, can it connect to Wi-Fi? But it's like they were asking because it's like they're just asking simple questions that's like that could lead to worse things. It was crazy, and people didn't really take it too seriously. And to me, I'm like, don't you guys think it's weird how sometimes you get like random emails for like trying to sign up for things, and it's like, how did these people get my email? But then you realize your email is connected to your Instagram, your Facebook, your YouTube, just everything, or sometimes your phone number. There was times where I was getting like random texts. I just removed my phone number from all my social media things, and it was already better. But the thing is, you can't remove your email from it. Privacy is so important, and you just don't have that on social media. Now, personally, for me, when I get to the age of having children, like when my wife and I are ready to have kids, the plan for me is to, if I post any pictures of my children, I'm going to do it where you don't see their faces ever, because I want them to have a very private life. Now, I'm not saying, oh, because I'm like some big booktube or anything. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying it to protect my children. That's the thing at the end of the day. I just want to protect my children. That's how I like look at it. You never know. I mean, it's a crazy world out there, and if you are putting your privacy out there with your own children, it's just too much. So I just would rather not do that. The last one here is one I think has definitely shown, and that is critical thinking. I think critical thinking has definitely left the door and left our planet many years ago. I truly believe COVID is like what really brought the brain rot. Like, TikTok is not good for kids. I don't think TikTok is that good. Do I use TikTok? Yeah, because like you have to use TikTok to help grow your channel. Like, especially when it comes to books, like book channels are really hard to grow in general. So the only way to grow is by using shorts and by making like controversial videos sometimes. But it's like, it's really hard to grow. The problem is when you talk about books, you could definitely tell of how people like the critical thinking of what goes on in the world. Like, people don't have any deep thoughts anymore. They just regurgitate what they already heard from somebody else, and they don't actually know what the meaning is. That's kind of how I look at it. You can see it all over when you go on TikTok or when you go on Instagram and someone like talks about something that's going on in the world, and they just say whatever they just saw, but they don't actually know what they're talking about, and then they gaslight and they put fear into everyone about it. And then when we have critical thinking, it like no one has these deep thoughts anymore. And that's how it feels like to me. In the small amount that do, some people just don't even listen to them because our attention spans are just cooked. A lot of us just, if I see a 45 minute video, I'm like, ooh, let's go. Let's see what their thought-provoking video is. And a lot of people probably are just going to avoid it. It's one of those kind of things that I just feel like critical thinking is completely gone. And it's because people just don't read. Like, we're at an age where I believe the average American has a 6th grade reading level, 6th or 7th grade, somewhere around there. That's insane. That is crazy. I mean, when I was younger, I was there. I was cooked. I was not very good at reading. And the other thing is too, average Americans, a lot of them don't know the difference between theirs or yours. That's a crazy concept as well. I remember at work just 2 weeks ago, there was this new guy who I met, and he didn't know how to use the right your. And I was like, wow. And he was in his 30s, like in his 30s. That's the thing when it comes to literally all of this, is like reading is gonna help you with critical thinking, it's gonna help you with your mental health, it's gonna help you with just about everything. Even it's gonna help you with politics, because then you don't have to think about freaking politics and just ruin your life, just so absorbed in it. But with reading, you get to help with the critical thinking. You get to help with your dyslexia if you're dyslexic like me. It'll help you with sentence structuring, how to talk better, just all these things to help you better. That's like the whole point of reading. Reading is arguably one of the most important things in your life to do besides working out. Reading is to help you with mental health. The gym is supposed to help you for physical. Those are so important things in your life that people just decide not to do. And I'm not saying, hey, everyone needs to go to the gym and become buff and stuff, but it's like just being active is really important. Same thing with your brain. If you're not active with your mind that much, you're not going to get very far. We have a temple of our bodies, and a lot of us just choose not to do it. I am one of them. I am overweight, I get it, but I am slowly getting back into it. My wife and I talked about it, and I told her what I wanted, and she agreed with me, so we are going to get back into it. So hopefully I can slim down some. For one, for the wedding, and two, it's just for my own health. That's why I read every day, because of my brain. It's a muscle. It's not literally a muscle, I get it, but to me, it's like a muscle. If you work it out, it's only going to get stronger. That's what goes on in my head. And it's very important, and that's why reading is so important. And it almost bums me out when I hear people, I don't want to read. I'm not smart enough. And it's like, you don't have to be smart to read. The whole concept of reading is just so good. If I seen a grown man reading Percy Jackson, I'd be so happy, because who cares? I read Percy Jackson. If I seen a grown man reading Goosebumps, who cares? As long as they are reading, that's what matters. Reading comics, reading manga, whatever. As long as you are reading, that is the most important thing at the end of the day. And that's another thing when it comes to like this mental health crisis. There is books that will help you with that, instead of using social media about people who don't actually probably care about your own mental health. Read a book that can help with that. You can read stories that have people that have gone through this and how they get better at it. You can read about superheroes that deal with mental health crises. You can read manga of characters, what they go through. There's been so many times when I've read Berserk or Vagabond or Spider-Man comics, and what they go through, what they endure, and how they overcome it to become a better character, become a better man. That's so important. I got that through reading and not through social media. I never once got that through social media. That's why it's so important to read. And I think people truly just don't think about that anymore. And it makes me so sad to think about that people choose not to read, and they get so sucked into these stupid things on social media, and you just go right in a wormhole. You'll never get out of it. You'll never be truly happy because you're so sucked into social media. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. If you have any other thoughts about things of why doom scrolling is like bad and why you need to read, let me know down below. I would love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with what I have to say about any of these things? If you do, let me know. If you don't agree with me, also let me know. I would love to hear all your thoughts down below. And last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay humble, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.